So there's one thing that you have to understand about success that most people never really talk about. It's a nuanced thing, but it is success stems from initial disgust, right? Disgust triggers the path to success for men, 100%. You might be sitting here right now and you are disgusted by where you're at. That is the right place to be if you are trying to achieve success, right? And a lot of talented men, if you're very talented, if you're somebody who you can achieve things effortlessly, right, without doing too much, you lap people around, right? You start to get complacent and you start to enjoy where you're at. You start to be okay. Everything is smooth. There's no turmoil. Everything just kind of flows for you. This might be the worst state to be in because you will not have the propulsion to be able to move forward to the success that you want to get to because you are comfortable. Men grow in discomfort, right? And the key is to be comfortable with discomfort, right? Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is the number one thing. And so, in a disgusted state, you are very uncomfortable with what you're looking at in the mirror. So, let's say you are overweight. It is not until you look yourself in the mirror and you're actually genuinely disgusted by how you look, that is when you're going to start taking your food seriously. That's when you're going to start taking your training serious. You might hire a coach to really help you because you literally just want to get out of this situation and find somebody who understands how to do that in an efficient way. It may be business. You're so low. You look at your bank account and you're literally at zero or you're in the negatives and you're sitting there like, I'm genuinely disgusted by the fact that I am not where I need to be. My business is not where you may have been doing this for over 10 years, 15 years of business, and you sit in a position where you're genuinely disgusted by the outputs that have been currently achieved. And that it is not until you hit, and they call it rock bottom. I don't believe it's rock bottom. I believe it's the start to the top, right? It's an inflection point. So there's an inflection point that happens where you're declining, and then you get this light switch because you're so disgusted by who you currently are. It is your current identity that you are disgusted with. And you realize that you need to shift that identity. You have rage, you have anger, which are really good emotions for men to have regardless of what other people say. I believe that anger and rage can be transmuted into positive energy that severely takes men to a whole nother trajectory of life when it comes to success. If you are able to transmute them into better energy, into positive energy, into positive sources of work, right? Obviously not negative things that affect society. That's not what we're preaching here. But you need to understand, you need to be in a position where you genuinely look at yourself and you're like, this is not like, I don't recognize myself. This is not who I want to become. And you start to make rapid change because when you're uncomfortable, the whole point is for your body wants to move into a place where it can make you comfortable. So if you're comfortable with being uncomfortable, you can sit in that state for a long time and you can work through it versus revert back to anything that's easy that you've been doing. So you need to be utterly disgusted with who you are and what you've been doing, like how you spend your time. You're like, man, I really waste my time doing this, or I really don't accomplish these goals. I'm not organized enough. Like, this is why I haven't reached what I need to reach. Once you get to that point, life starts to change extremely rapidly, right? I'll give you an example even for me. You know, I got to a point where I was looking at social media because my goal is to impact millions of people on social media. That is something that I genuinely want to do. That is something that I want to be my lifelong mission. And I was looking at YouTube. I was looking at Instagram. I was looking at TikTok. I was looking at Twitter. I was looking at all these different platforms I was on. I'm like, I haven't grown at all. Like, I haven't necessarily really done the work to be able to make things happen. I was looking at YouTube. YouTube is literally the number one channel for me. And I was like, bro, you could have been doing this for the last 3 years, making one video a day, speaking your thoughts. People actually enjoy listening to your thoughts, and you're very articulate, and you know what you need to say, but you haven't been posting at all. You post a video a month and think you're going to grow, or you post a video every few months. So I got instantly disgusted, and I was like, man, I'm literally a loser. Like, negative self-talk can work. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you can give yourself visceral lashings, like, internally to get yourself going. As a man, that's what fuels us, right? As women, it may be different, but I know as men, like, you talk a lot of trash to yourself and you start to, like, really get competitive with yourself. You're like, bro, you need to be posting a video a day. That's really what I was telling myself. And I was like, if you don't post a video a day, you're not going to hit that goal. Look at you right now. Who are you impacting? How many people are actually listening to you when you speak? Right? Like, where are your messages going? How influential are you to somebody's life? How many lives have you changed so far? You're 26 years old. What have you done so far? Right? So I get into this state and I start getting really angry and I start getting rage because I see other people who started before me when I wanted to start and they kept going and I stopped. Right? Same with business, right? You notice different things. You notice that you started, but you stopped and you're not putting enough effort in. You realize I need to be doing outreach 200, 300, 400 times a day if I want the output that I want. If I want to make $50,000 a month, don't you think it's better to actually do the work and reach out to X amount of people to get to that goal rather than sit there and just try to formulate and overthink? See, when you're disgusted in yourself and you're disgusted at where you're at, you stop overthinking. Because now you realize overthinking is a waste of time. You will do whatever it takes. You'll literally turn into a crackhead, a madman. And you'll just start making rapid improvements and people will see it. But the trick is to stay in that disgusted state every time. Be disgusted with where you are always at. Even if you start with $0, you get to $10,000 a month. Be disgusted that you're only at $10,000 a month and you're not at 100,000 or you're not at 20,000. Get to 20, be disgusted at 20, and then move forward again. It's the same concept. You just have to remain in that disgusted state because I'll be entirely honest with you. I genuinely believe that men who are hyper successful are still disgusted in themselves. They still are miserable, right? And they're miserable because they want more. And that's the thing. You want more. I know society tells you, oh, there's only a certain amount and then you'll be good. You'll never really. No, ambitious men always want more. They always want better. And if it's not in one vertical, they move to another vertical, start over, get better. That is the thing. You need to be disgusted in yourself on a regular basis to actually make legitimate progress. So, again, this is going to be something that may be controversial to people because everybody wants to be positive little butterflies nowadays. And that is why we have a very soft society of men, because we are not disgusted in ourselves to make the improvements that we need to make, right? So I hope this video turns you up a little bit. I hope this made you realize that you may not be disgusted in who you are and you may be comfortable with that person. And if you are comfortable with who you are, if you're not disgusted, maybe that is who you're supposed to be. Maybe there's nothing more for you then. You've achieved everything, which I highly doubt, but you've achieved everything that you've wanted. Cool. But if you know that you want to be that person, if you want to be a different version, a higher version of yourself, you need to be disgusted at your current version to make those quantum leaps into the next stage of your life. So again, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend who needs motivation, who wants to be able to be the best versions of themselves, but they are comfortable in their state of being, and continue to watch the videos. I hope these videos inspire you. I will catch you guys on the next video.